Y'all know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. A t-shirt cannon. Did you just say a t-shirt cannon? They tell me you're going to Indian Creek. Therapeutic community. Majority of the dudes there got drug-related offenses, drug history. Not many of them been down as long as me. Guys are going home daily. When I mean daily, it's you got to have 2 years or less to even be at this place. They got the YOs there, youthful offenders. So you got 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. Most of the environment there was just young dudes. Off the chain. These little motherfuckers are just running around like they ain't got no sense. So when I walk in, I first get there, I come through, I go to property, I get my stuff, I go over to medical. By now, you know, it's almost lunchtime. I go to the building, they tell me you're in one building, that's the first building you start off in. And I come in, and the first thing I notice is just, it's gloomy. There's no cells, there's bunks everywhere, and it's just a gloomy, gloomy, gloomy vibe. Like everybody here is miserable. That's when I started noticing the youngins, you know what I mean? Like these young ass dudes everywhere. I'm like, yo, it's a bunch of kids around here, man. Now, you got some 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. For the most part, the majority of them dudes, you know, it was a whole, they got a YO camp there. Immediately, I noticed one thing out. Everybody's getting high. I go out back on the rec yard that evening, and motherfuckers, they're chasing. And chasing means they're looking for them dope boys, and boys that got their hair on. Dudes are out there, same thing like Greensville, snorting dope, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. This place is flooded. For a place supposed to be therapeutic community, I'm thinking, yo, why is there so much drugs here? Like, I ain't never seen so much drugs. I mean, Greensville by far was like a big ass trap house. But yo, this is a whole new level of drugs. Like, everything you can imagine is here. I get to kicking it with a couple dudes, man. They put me in a small, my bunk area. I'm in the bunk space with a dude named Goldie. And Goldie's an old head black dude from Southside Richmond. We was in the jail together way back in the day. Both went to prison. Goldie's coming home. I'm coming home. We both ended up here. And Goldie's been here, you know, maybe a week before me. And Goldie's like, look, man. He's like, the gangs here is jumping. He's like, the gangs are off the chain. It's like these little blood motherfuckers, they run this shit. He was like, but that ain't who you got to worry about. You got to worry about the other inmates. So you mean worry about the other inmates? He's like, man, this is TC. Therapeutic community. They'll write your ass up. They'll drop this little slip called an awareness slip if they see you doing something wrong and straight tell on you. I said, what? He was like, man, I swear to God, bro. So now I'm bugging. I go to the council the next day. I said, look, y'all made a mistake. You need to get me up off here. I'm not supposed to be at this place. Go ahead, get me up off here. She says, no, I can't. No. The hole's full. We got so many people bucking the program. You'll have to wait. And I said, whatever. I'm not doing this. I'm not telling on nobody. I don't care nothing about y'all's program. Y'all gonna have to get me gone. She said, look, do not leave. Just hang in there. Hang in there. This is designed for guys like, how the hell is it designed for guys like me? I'm not a drug addict. I don't got no drug charges. I got violent charges. So she convinces me to hang around. She tells me, I'm going to put you in the warehouse. I'm going to put you working all day, driving a forklift, bagging up chemicals in the warehouse so you don't have to participate in this. I said, all right, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Like, cool. As long as I can go to work all day, I ain't got to sit in these chairs with these guys and talk about my life and deal with a bunch of people and a bunch of young dudes I don't want to deal with. I'm cool with that. Following day, I think it's like a day later, I go out in the rec yard and I look down and I notice that there's all these dudes like congregating in this one area of the field. And I'm like, all right, must be gang members. They're having a meeting or something, nothing new, you know what I mean? Seen it a million times. But this is different because you got them, they're not all in just one group. They're spread out in like groups of 4 or 5 throughout this whole like side of this fence on the rec yard. And I'm like, yo, this is different, man. This ain't what I'm used to. What is this? And about that time, I see something fly over the fence and land in the rec yard. I see, what the fuck was that? All of a sudden, 8, 9 more times he comes over, and as it does, these little groups of dudes are dispersing off, and they're grabbing these things up. My homeboy like, I'm looking all crazy, so he's like, it's the first time you seen that? I said, seen? What did I just see, bro? He was like, man, there's a main road that runs beside this prison right here. And the rec yard fence was right there. Then there's a little small fence that's, you know, on the other side. And then there's the road. There's like a hill, but the road is literally, if you go to Google Maps and look, maybe 80 feet from the rec yard fence. Dudes are hitting their girls up and their homeboys up on cell phones that are being thrown over the fence and telling them what to bring them. That's why this place is so flooded. Before y'all get into, oh, he's snitching. No, they already know this. They done shut that section of the yard down. They done added more fences. They know this. This shit had been going on for a long time. The packs used to fall in between the fences and the guards would find them. They've been known since this place opened. This is how the drugs are getting in. But dude told me, he was like, yo, these people got their people going online. And I didn't even really know what online was at the time. I was still thinking AOL. He said, they got their people going online and buying t-shirt cannons. He was like, and they're pulling up in the car, and they got these packages that are wrapped in saran wrap. They're shoving them in the t-shirt cannons, and right from the street, right beside the prison, boom, shooting them over the fence. I said, man, get the fuck out of here. I would look around, I would see just random dudes, man, nobodies. Dudes that should not have a phone. Dudes that if they had a phone out Greensville, would have got slapped in the phone, would have got taken from them. You got random nobodies on the phone, chilling, trying to duck their head in their jacket from their guard. You got dudes everywhere, smoking roll-ups, smoking Newport, smoking Black and Milds, smoking blunts. They shooting whole packages of games, Rellos over the fence, whole bricks of weed over the fence. Whatever you can afford, and you got the money to get your people to get, or your people can come over the fence. In the time I was there, I saw so many people overdose because it wasn't like that people were trying to get stuff to the visiting room. No, if a dude could get his hand on 4 ounces of dope, 8 ounces of dope, they'd shoot it right over the fence to him. It'd come from the plug, and within an hour, it'd be in his hands. So the dope up there, they were getting twice as much for what they were used to getting, and the quality was better because they didn't have to cut it to try to stretch it to make more money. So it always goes bad, man. These stories always lead to it going bad. I got a homeboy, his job is to cut the grass. So him and they're called the yard crew. Him and these other guys, they get with the people at the front, they bring out the lawnmowers. You got the guards out there and they go around and they cut the grass. My homeboy's riding around one day and finds like 4 packages on the rec yard. Just people, whoever had shoot these over the fence, shot the packages over the fence after the rec yard was closed and nobody had been out there yet to get them. My homeboy's out there cutting grass. He finds these 4 packages. He's got packs and packs and packs of Newports, which are gold in prison. He's got loose tobacco. He's got all types of weed. You know what I mean? He's intercepted these people's pack. Comes back in that day and tells me, yo, I got the pack. And I'm thinking to myself, that's good, but that's bad. This pack belongs to somebody. Somebody's paid money for this. Somebody's had their people come up here and shoot this over the fence. I've seen people run up the hill before, and literally you see them standing on the hill and throwing stuff over the fence. Not everybody used the cannon. Some people would just, had big balls and would just run up over the fence from the main road and just throw it over. All right, dog, I'll holler at you. And run off. I tell my homeboy, there's going to be problems behind this, man. Like, you got to be smart in how you move. Now, he ain't been down as long as me. He's done a couple bids, but he's not as seasoned as I am. And I'm trying to tell him, people are going to put the word out, man, that they're looking for somebody that's got the pack that ain't supposed to have it. Somebody that's usually not pumping this shit has got something they ain't supposed to have. I ain't worried about that shit. I said, bro, we got so many bloods on this compound. You better be worried about it. You know what I mean? I ain't Superman. I ain't Popeye. You know, cans of spinach laying around this bitch. Like, you better be worried about it. Man, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I said, all right, man, whatever. So he comes to me and he's like, look, man, a lot of dudes keep asking me if any of us that work on the yard crew found anything on the yard. We keep telling them no. He's like, I'm having to buy cigarettes and stuff off the yard because, from the guys, because the dudes that ask me, I know who it belongs to now. He's like, I'm buying cigarettes from them just to take suspicion off myself, man. He was like, but we got a shakedown coming up. I can't keep sitting around with this shit. I said, well, break me off some of it. You know, I'll magnet it to the bottom of the empty locker next to mine. Means you put a magnet inside the saran wrap, stick it under there. That's a common area. If they find it, nothing they can do to me. That's not my locker. He says, okay, everything's cool. That night we go to night rec. I go out, I catch the first door break. I lift weights for a little bit. It's hot. I come back in. I want to hit the showers for everybody else comes there from softball. I hear him call the code. All the guards start running down the boulevard, cutting to the fence and going to the rec yard. Man, these dudes are out there and they are fucking my homeboy up. I can't get outside the building. There's nothing I can do to help him. I mean, I'd have wore the ass whipping with him, to be honest. There wasn't no weapons involved, man. I wasn't no thief. I didn't steal nothing. But he had done went out there. People knew that there was at this point, the only people that had weed were certain people. He's done went out there and took a Newport and took it and rolled all the tobacco out of it and broke up weed, put the weed in it. And is walking around the track, smoking his Newport full of weed. These dudes smell it, run up on him, ask him where he got it from. You know what I mean? He got to produce an answer. He can't, he's trying to talk. Boom, they just smash him out. A whole bunch of dudes smashing him. He goes to the hole, they go to the hole. I think he went to the infirmary, and he came from the infirmary, he went to the hole. They end up shipping people, they find out what's going on. Meanwhile, I've still got about 6 ounces of tobacco. I've got like 3 or 4 lighters, a whole bunch of rolling papers, and I ain't got no scales, you know what I mean? So I can eyeball it, maybe an ounce of weed hidden underneath this locker. I'm not like this dude, I'm not dumb. I know there's no way I can break this pack out without it immediately being a war, immediately being chaos. People immediately going to the hole. You know, I was one of the few amount of dudes up there that actually had a knife, and that was because where I came from, you had to have one. As soon as I got there, broke off a piece of fence, sharpened that bitch on the concrete, and had a knife. I didn't want to take it there. I'm less than 2 years now, I just want to go home. What do? I hold off. Hold steady, hold fast. I just sit with the pack. Just sit. I'm talking, when I'm telling you sit now, I'm talking better part of probably 45 days. I'm sitting with the pack. And my plan is that as more stuff hits the yard, I'm just going to buy some here and there, buy some here and there, buy some here and there, until they know I've bought a good amount, enough that I could pump my own stuff and them think that the stuff I'm pumping was the stuff I got from them. And that's exactly what I did. 45 days in, I've done accumulated so much cigarettes, tobacco, weed, you know, other little stuff that I can now pump this stuff on the yard and nobody be looking at me crazy. Not to mention, I can roll big hog legs, walk around, just smoke big dumb blunts all day and not have to worry about anybody. Everything's going smooth, man. I get off my pack. Packs are still coming over the fence. Then we got this young crash test dummy in there that goes home one day. And everybody in the pod already knows that he's going to get out. And the same day he gets out, he is going to pick the pack up. He's going to bag all this stuff up. He's going to run up the hill, throw the stuff over the fence to the people in the rec yard. He does just that. And as the car is parked on the side of the street, and he's up on top of the field, throwing the package over the fence, the guards see him. They radio to the other guards. They call the police. The guards go out there with the prison vehicles and block his vehicle in so he can't leave. They know him by name. Looking at him like, you big dummy, can't believe you just did that. And just like that, the pack over the fence escapade was done. They put guards out there at all points and times, started checking the yards before and after wreck, and it was over. Now, this wasn't supposed to be an exciting story. Pretty sure I got COVID, so I'm just trying to put some content out there, trying to keep y'all fed. You know, I love y'all, so I'm gonna stay at it. But yeah, man, t-shirt cannons. The places that's supposed to be rehabs are the place, you know, that got the most drugs, man. It's crazy, true story. Ask anybody that's ever done time up in Indian Creek and they'll tell you that. Crazy, crazy world we live in. But look, I'm not feeling too good. I'm gonna jump up off here. I love y'all. It's Jay Williams, let's live life. Y'all already know what it is, man. To all my real ones, there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Salute.